Eileo guys, and welcome back. Hopefully everyone's doing well out there today, and we do have the updated video for Sanzang, so let me stop talking about that and let's talk about this baby girl instead here. So we're starting off here with the fire version of Sanzang, who is a defender type. Of course, she's a nat 5, so you may end up pulling her at some point in time during your MSL career, and let's figure out if she's worth your time or not here. So I stated before, if the fire type, she's sitting at 29k HP, 2.5k attack, and then 3.5k defense. Defender, nat 5, her HP pull is fine, defense is fine. She is a fire Astromon though, so keep that in mind here. And overall, I mean, stat distribution wise, I don't really have any complaints about that. But let's take a look at these skills for her. So starting off here for a 3-star skill, she has Adrenaline. Attacks restore allies HP in an amount equal to 10% of her own max HP. So the more HP that she has on her, the more heal she will then provide to the squad here. And then for her 5-star skill, she has Seal, 80% chance to seal the enemy's passive skills for 2 turns. And it looks like it indicates that it says summons a giant hand that eradicates the enemy. That single target? I've never used my Sanzang whatsoever, so I should probably confirm that. But if that's single target, I don't think she's single target. We'll find out. But anyways, she does come in here with a variant leader skill of the Protector Shield, which increases your allies' defense. So if you end up pulling a variant Sanzang, weird flex, but okay, doesn't really do anything. I mean, there's worse leader skills out there, but this also isn't very good whatsoever. So in this case, I mean, maybe you just started the game and you needed something to hold you over to either like passively heal the squad, or maybe just try to stand a fighting chance in PvP, though it's more easier, especially at a lower level of PvP, just to run nukers in like an SP Siphoner, even though we do that higher up here. But yeah, really not much usage out of her outside of that 3-star skill, which is also a bit odd because, yeah, she's a defender, but there's other Astromon that use Seal and bring more to the table than this. But of course, that's why we're doing this review. But let's take a look at her skill books for her skills. So Adrenaline does receive a 15% damage boost and goes up to 15%. That's not bad. Seal also receives a 10% damage boost and goes up to 100%, I believe, for 2 turns. Yeah, 100% for 2 turns. Nat 5, do you really want to throw your books in here? Probably not. And then keeping things moving right along here, we do have another defender from Sanzang for the water version of her, coming in with 33k HP, 2.5k attack, and then 3.9k defense. Wasn't the fire one a defender too? Why are her stats so much lower than the water one? Weird champ, but okay. I don't make the game, I just judge what's in it. But yeah, her stats are even better than the fire one, so no complaints there. But taking a look at her skills, if I can click on the right one here, for the 3-star skill and 5-star skill, she is a defense aggressor, meaning the more defense that she has, the more damage she's going to deal. This is super ideal, especially back in the day when like Light Nike and Dark Kraken, etc. was like pretty much the meta here. Also Dark Siegfried, which him and Dark Kraken like super evoed. We won't really talk about that, of how close that they are in terms of stats here. But yeah, she's a defense aggressor. More defense means more damage / survivability. But with recent updates to the game, with the whole lethal strikers thing, where if you have more defense you get punished for it, she is kind of dropped down in viability. I mean, I never saw her as a big threat before, but even now, I mean, she's an okay defense aggressor. If you need a defense aggressor for whatever situation, it's just that she doesn't really benefit from having that additional crit damage or easier to build crit rate, unfortunately. So with that, you can do whatever you please. But I mean, if you needed a mon to hopefully stall for whatever reason, maybe that could help you. Maybe it couldn't. It's just, I don't know. She's not super appealing to me. I've never personally tried her, but she exists. Pretty much just a PvP mon. Because I don't know, I don't really see people run defense aggressors outside of maybe PvP content, because why would you do that when you have nukers? But let's take a look at her skills. So this makes it really easy for both 3 and 5-star skills. She gets a incredible damage boost of 25% applied to both her 3 and 5-star skills. If you somehow love this water Sanzang, that's all on you. But my whole consensus with the defense aggressors, as stated before, is I prefer light or dark, and even then, I mean, at the end of the day, I pretty much just use my Dark Kraken. Like, That's it. That's it. Make Water Sanzang great again. That's your job right there. Make her great again. Alright, keeping things moving forward here, we do have the wood version of Sanzang, who is a tank type, coming in with 35k HP, 2.7k attack, doesn't really matter, and then 2.5k defense. Like what, 2,000 more HP than the water one, but 1k less defense? Actually, almost like 1.5k less defense? They do these freaking wood Ashramon wrong, man. I'm not even sure if Sanzang has ever gotten like a big meaty update, but that is highly unfortunate because she does have a pretty cool design in my opinion. But for both her 3 and 5-star skill, once again another easy one, attack down for the 3-star skill, 90% chance for 2 turns. For the 5-star skill, 80% chance for 2 turns. I think there was debate quite a while ago, like many years ago, if you had nothing else for hitting Water Titan, you can throw her in there for the hell of it. So if you just began the game, you're trying to get into Titans, feel free to throw your freaking Wood Sanzang in there for the time being for that whole attack down. But outside of that, I mean, attack down has its places in the game. However, it's usually paired up with healers because obviously instead of her doing damage to whatever that you're fighting, you would rather your healer do the debuff and also heal the squad at the same time, just like someone like Baby Shark, for example. He can do what, attack down and attack up if my memory serves me correctly. So not only is he debuffing, but his added benefit is boosting up the damage of his party members and healing the squad. This right here is just pure attack down on a mon that isn't really offensive, because I think it's like what, Water Arthur is a little bit interesting depending on his setup there, but even then it's already kind of like a big stretch. So debuffing, I mean, this is like if you have no other Ashramon to kind of debuff, but as soon as you get something better or more efficient, she's pretty much out the window, which is sad because I mean her probabilities of these moves going off is pretty darn good. It's just, it's very niche in my opinion. There's also what, the Apophis dungeon. Perhaps you could bring her in there. I've never used her, at least from what I can recall, but your mileage would definitely vary on that, so don't quote me on that whatsoever. But taking a look at the skill books here, for the 3-star version of attack down, it does receive a 15% damage boost and goes up to, I believe, 100% for 2 turns. Yes, it does. And then for the 5-star version, 10% damage boost, doesn't really matter, with a 2.7k attack stat, and once again 100% for 2 turns. So far the Sanzangs are Alright, keeping it moving here, because we got stuff to do, people. We do have the light version of Sanzang, who is a balance type, coming in with nearly 35k HP. Balance? 35? Okay. Her attack stat is 2.7k, and then her defense stat is 2.9. Definitely not bad. Good distribution of that defense and HP. HP feels a little bit high, especially as a balance mon, but this is a Nat 5, and in theory is difficult to get. So let's see what her skills entail for her. Alright, so for her 3-star skill, she has Battle Rush, restores her own HP and SP by 25%. This is great for SP production and also, of course, making her a self-sustainer depending on the situation here. And I mean, she's not really there to do damage, even with that 2.7k attack stat. Her defense and HP are pretty good though, so her main job is just going to be defending, taking some hits for the squad, hopefully. And then for the 5-star skill, she has 80% chance for shock of 2 turns. Definitely not bad whatsoever. This definitely reminds me of, what is it, Imperato? Is Imperato's better? Imperato's obviously easily farmable as well. So as stated before, she is a defense-based mon. You would probably have her on your PvP defense team or something like Clan versus Clan. Outside of that, I mean, if you're feeling froggy, you could possibly use her inside the Tower of Chaos, because I use my Yukis there. If not, just feel free to like drag in your freaking Fire Dracos or whoever else that you have on a Siphon set here. But especially if you're new a player and you manage to pull her, hey man, go ahead and keep her and rock her for now, and maybe you'll find a place for her later on in the game. But outside of PvP or Clan versus Clan, that's pretty much all that I can think of for her. But let's take a look at her skills. So Battle Rush does receive a 20% damage boost and goes up to 30%. Okay, this is a light Nat 5, and then Shock receives a 20% damage boost and goes up to 90% for 2 turns. I mean, books aren't necessary here. It's not a super big game changer. It would be nice, but yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I think she's fine as she is, as kind of like a defense-based mon. But I am curious with, what is it, Imperato? If I can click on his skills. 10% for the entire squad and 70% chance for shock. And his does say all enemies too, because I do need to test that out, which I'll probably do at the end of the video, because why not? It says only one enemy for her, but I gotta make sure because I don't remember. Obviously you can tell I never use any of my Sanzangs. Not even sure if I have one right now, but we'll figure that out. But yeah, Imperato is farmable, easy to obtain, a lot better variant skill. Light Sanzang needs a change. Alright, and then moving forward here, we do have Dark Sanzang, who I actually own. That's a big shocker right there. Dark Sanzang is an attacker type coming in with 30k HP. Already damn good for an attacker. 3.8k attack. She's a Dark Mind too, so that means that additional crit damage. Always lovely to have. And 2.6k defense, pretty standard. If she gets hit, it's gonna, it's gonna hurt her like a butt cheek on a stick. And if she hits you, obviously, it's going to hurt like a butt cheek on the stick for you. But let's take a look at her skills here. So for her 3-star skill, SP Siphon, 40% of the enemy's SP. Great for crowd control. I've talked about this before. And then for her 5-star skill, Hunter, increases critical hit damage by 50%. That right there is money, people. That is money. However, if this is single target, which we're about to find out here very, very shortly, we're not talking about that. We're just not going to talk about that. That is absolutely just disgusting. But the ideal situation with Hunter 2 is with a 3.8k attack stat and that additional crit damage. If she crits, hopefully somebody will cry. So this is definitely a PvP mon. Outside of that, there's nothing else that really comes to mind here because of her 3-star skill. Maybe with the dimensional dungeons, but I tend to just use puncture like everyone else there. Maybe there's someone out there that has been using some creative builds though. But yeah, that's pretty much where I would like retire her at. I think Dark Sandwraith has a similar build, but he has Persevere on the 5-star skill. There's also Dark Lupin, which is a pretty good nat 4 for your money too. So if you happen to pull her, she would basically take the slot of those Astromon. Obviously, they're kind of easier to book up there. But, I mean, overall, her stat distribution isn't bad whatsoever. I'm currently building mine. Will she ever be Evo 3? Stay tuned for that. But, yeah, she's just been hanging out. I have other Astromon that I end up using because you guys know I have 25 million Astromon. And let's take a look at these skills here. So, SP Siphon does receive a 25% damage boost. Why is that so freaking high? I guess they were like, we can't really do anything else with that. And it goes up to 45%. 40% already is totally overkill. And then Hunter also receives a 20% damage boost. Overall, her skill situation, especially in terms of books, to me just doesn't really seem worth it. Unless you really love Sanzang, because wow, it's not a super big game changer. Yeah, SP Siphon will hit like a butt cheek on a stick, but I don't know, man. But before I go, let's go ahead and test out if Sanzang is single target or not, because I do have a dark one which I have not used, but we're not talking about that. Alright, let me see if I can get some SP going here first. She needs to attack. Almost there. Alright, this is the moment of truth, people. Okay. It said an enemy. Did it not? So she is AoE. That's good news right there. That's all that we needed. So I'm going to actually go ahead and end the review here, you guys. Basically, the good takeaway of Sanzang is that the RGB, I mean, I really wouldn't use them unless you had nothing else. Dark Sanzang does have some viability, especially as like a direct upgrade versus someone like Dark Lupin or Dark Sandwraith, arguably, or allegedly. Don't come for me. Light Sandwraith is like a different version of Light Imperato, but honestly, I would just go with Light Imperato because he's farmable and he has a hell of a lot better leader skill. So that pretty much just leaves Dark Sanzang, in my opinion, of being the only one with any real staying power, unless someone can prove me wrong. But yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.